We need to be grateful that they are making Star Wars content. It doesn't matter if the content is great, it doesn't even matter if it's good. And we should never express a dissenting, potentially negative opinion about anything Disney and She Banshee Kathleen Kennedy have produced with a Star Wars label on it. Hi y'all, Snarky J Cosplay here. Recently I made a video about my decision to stop watching Ahsoka immediately after episodes 4 and 5 came out and I heard that they were the greatest things since sliced bread or whatever. That's totally fine. However, my opinion about Disney and Disney Star Wars content still stands, and the more I've had people not so much enter spirited discussions or intelligent debates with me, the more I've gotten insulted by Star Wars nerds who cannot comprehend that I have a different opinion than them. I've really started to hear the same sort of topic over and over. And the same sentence that gets repeated to me constantly when somebody is choosing to call me a fake fan for not wanting to watch one of the million pieces of Star Wars content out there is that instead of complaining on the internet and griping and bitching, what I need to do is be grateful that we're getting Star Wars content at all. That's the word that I hear over and over. We need to be grateful that they are making Star Wars content. It doesn't matter if it's particularly good. That's literally something I've been told. It doesn't matter if the content is great. It doesn't even matter if it's good. What matters is that the content is being produced. We are being given this content as if it is a gift, and therefore we should be grateful, we should be supportive, and we should never express a dissenting, potentially negative opinion about anything Disney and She Banshee Kathleen Kennedy have produced with a Star Wars label on it. We cannot express anything but positive opinions. And despite the fact that it usually comes from anons on the internet whose opinions really don't matter to me anyway, I've really started to think about what it means to have to be grateful for content that we're being served, and what an absolute sellout, complacent, bullshit ass argument that is for defending Disney or any other piece of content. Let's really talk about this here, okay? Let me see if I can put this in a way that makes sense without the emotional attachment and vitriol that comes from Star Wars fans. Let's put this in terms of a restaurant. Let's say you have a restaurant you really like, and every Tuesday you go get one chicken sandwich. It is your favorite chicken sandwich in the world. And you walk in on one regular Tuesday and the sandwich you're served is not it. The bread isn't toasty, the sandwich doesn't taste like much, your lettuce is all wilted, and you're pretty sure you might have a touch of food poisoning afterwards. It's that bad. Maybe after this first mistake you go, well, I come here all the time, so there's no way that this one singular time that they served me this absolutely terrible sandwich could ever happen again. And so the next Tuesday you go and you're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to eat a sandwich, and somehow that sandwich is even worse. And you go in for 4 consecutive Tuesdays, and every time the sandwich is just bad. It's not the sandwich you remember. Now, would you walk up to that manager and say, hey, this sandwich is disgusting. I've paid you $13.99 for it, but you know what? I'm so glad you gave me something to eat. Is that how you would respond? Or would you walk up there with your receipt and said, hey, I paid 13 to 14 of my American hard-earned dollars on this bullshit. This sandwich sucks. Let me get a refund or I'm never coming back here again. I'm sorry, I choose option B, and that's exactly how I feel about Star Wars. I have literally spent the past like 10 to 12 years of my life being a big Star Wars fan, and I know that all you boomers are gonna come at me, I've been a Star Wars fan since 1970. I don't give a shit. I was born in 2000, I wasn't here for that. I got into it when I got into it. It's not a contest, Grandpa. The point is that we have spent years of our lives dedicating ourselves to pushing these ideals that Star Wars has, to talking about the content. Some of us dress up as the characters, we put them on our cars, we buy the t-shirts, we buy the movie tickets, we buy the merchandise. We have lined the pockets of anybody who has owned the Star Wars label since the 70s. And now we come into a new era where Disney has owned Star Wars for the past, what, like 10, 15 years already? They have owned Star Wars, they have made content, they've made trilogies, they've made series, they've made standalone films, they have done all sorts of things, including like complete theme park revamps, all surrounding this one intellectual property that we all really love. And they didn't do any of it for free. I don't know about you guys, but even as somebody with a small amount of internet clout, I've never gotten a single free piece of Star Wars merch. I've never been invited anywhere. Everything Star Wars that I own, I have bought and I have paid for, and it has been my own. So you mean to tell me that you giving your money to Disney Plus every month, which by the way, it just keeps getting more and more expensive, you feel comfortable giving your money to a company that is producing subpar content and being told you should be grateful? This attitude doesn't exist for anything else. Food, clothing, cars. Nobody looks at any other piece of merchandise, anything else that you trade money for a good or service, and goes, hey, you might be unsatisfied with this thing you paid for, but you should really just be grateful you got it at all. That attitude literally only exists in online forums when people are talking about Star Wars. That's it. And this isn't about Ahsoka, this isn't about Kenobi, this isn't about the Book of Boba Fett, which is the reason I live to forget. This is purely about this attitude from Star Wars fans that I am so fucking sick of. I'm not even sorry about it. We can 100% agree to disagree on the quality of the content that we are being served. You can 100% tell me, Jay, I think you're wrong, I think this is fantastic, I think we are in the best era of Star Wars ever. You're entitled to your opinion, even if you're f***ing wrong. Even if one guy says this is great and one girl says this is bad, and we can all just agree to disagree without going, hey, you should be grateful you're getting content in the first place. Where did you get that idea? I paid my membership just like everybody else. I paid for my t-shirts just like everybody else. I bought my movie tickets just like everybody else. And with that, I bought my freedom and my entitlement to come on here on my channel in my room with my equipment and my script to say whatever I please. Do I agree with the cruelty of some Star Wars fans in the past, literally driving people to delete social media accounts, driving them out of Hollywood, and almost driving people to suicide just because they were in a Star Wars movie they didn't like? No, I absolutely don't. That is nuts. But to come on here and say, hey, this content is subpar, hey, I don't like this movie, hey, I don't like this TV show, I don't like the direction this is going in. We can say that. At the end of the day, Disney, Star Wars, Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, Kathleen Kennedy, whoever's face, whoever's name you want to put to this content, they don't do it out of the goodness of their heart. They don't do it for the love of the art. If they did, you know what? They'd be giving out free Star Wars DVDs and we'd all have free Disney Plus subscriptions because it's all about the love of the art. No, it's about producing a product, it's about selling us movie tickets, it's about keeping us on the Disney Plus subscription pipeline, it's about selling merch and toys and lightsabers, what have you. It is about making money. And if they are about making money, and I apparently am about spending money, then I'm going to spend my money where it is deserved on products that I feel are of quality and worth spending my hard-earned money on. Because let me tell you, YouTube ad revenue is not as much as you probably think it is. All this is to say, no, I will not be grateful for Star Wars content. I will not be served a terrible chicken sandwich week after week and be grateful for it. I will look for a better sandwich, I will go somewhere else, or I will starve before I continue to pay for a sandwich I don't want to eat. And that's all from me. I've been Snarky J. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. For more Snarky J, be sure to check me out on Instagram, and if you'd like to support my content creation, feel free to check out my Patreon. I will link both in the description below, and let me know your thoughts about being grateful for Star Wars content in the comments below.